My report for today is all about marine environment. Marine ecosystem is organized by the system of relationship between plants and animals in the aquatic environment. Oceanographers who investigate the physical, chemical, and biological properties of ocean waters, ocean currents, and ocean basins. There are two marine provinces, A. Pelagic division and B. Benthic division. In the pelagic division, this division embodies all the waters of the ocean and their adjacent saltwater bodies, Neretic zone and Oceanic zone. Neretic zone is extending offshore to edge of the continental shelf to a depth of 600 feet. Rich in plant nutrients, especially the phosphate and nitrates, the water is more variable identity and chemical content than oceanic water. In the oceanic zone, has well-populated upper lighted 660 feet stratum, deeper relatively dark and sparsely populated layers, characterized by the great pressure and animals modified for life in darkness and under great pressure, and every few bottom animals, the water is usually very transparent. Okay, this is the example of pelagic province and benthic province. In the benthic division, the division of the marine environment embraces the entire ocean floor, both coastal bottom and deep sea bottom, properly termed the littoral and deep sea system respectively. Littoral zone. In the littoral zone are located between the high and low tide marks. Animals living are adapted to periodic exposure to air and sun as the tides ebb and flow. Most animals are motile. Two types of littoral zone. First is the littoral zone. This is probably the richest zone of marine ecosystem with respect to numbers and kinds of organisms. Factors to changes in the environment are light, temperature, salinity, time exposure. These variations are reflected in shape, movement, tolerance, and life histories of the characteristic animals and plants. There are 5 major kingdoms in the ocean. First is Monera, second Protista, 3 fungi, 4 metaphyta, 5 metazoa. Monera. No internal cell membranes, planktonic or benetic, recycled organic material, and some photosynthetic. In Protista, Foraminifera diatom, seaweed, planktonic or benetic, internal membranes, planktonic, benetic, eat or photosynthesize. Fungi abundant in the intertidal zone, not as diverse as on land, important decomposition. In Metaphyta, plants that grow attached to the sea floor, red, brown, and green algae, advanced plants of salt marshes and coastal swamps, only found in the shallow areas where the bottom is the potty zone. Metazoa, multicellular animals. This is an example of Metazoa, the multicellular animals. Two deep sea systems, components of marine ecosystem classified by lifestyle, plankton organism, zooplankton, nekton community, benthos organism, coral reefs, and mangrove swamps. Plankton organism. These organisms are small, most microscopic, and have little or no power locomotion, being distributed by water movement. Phytoplankton, these include algal plants such as the small algae, fungi, and sargassum weed. The most important in the economy of the sea are the algae, diatoms, and dinoflagellates. They are the major producers in the marine plankton. Zooplankton organisms are the floating or weakly swimming animals, which include the eggs and the larval stage as well as adult forms. The principal kinds include protozoa, crustacea, larval stages, jellyfishes, worms, and mollusks. Protozoa such as Foraminifera and Radiolaria, while the crustacea such as ostracods and copepods. Mollusks and also the eggs and early development stages, the most of the non-planktonic organisms in the sea. Diatoms. mesophytic unticular plants and some of them from trees. They possess characteristic shell composed of translucent silica and have a great variety of form and culture. Possess one or more chromophores ranging in color from yellow to brown. Occurs a fossil siliceous shell deposits is called diatomaceous earth, and as a living producer in practically all habitats of the broad marine ecosystem. They are found floating in water, attached to the bottom of larger plants and animals, and the spores enclosed in Arctic ice. Different shapes of diatoms. This is the example of different shapes of diatoms. Dinoflagellates possess whip-like flagella that provide slight degree of locomotion, possess structural modification that indicate adaptation to environment conditions. Phytoplankton organisms are more abundant in natural rich coastal waters than in offshore oceanic waters. They are primary producers upon which large and small marine animals feed. Copepods, a small herbivorous plant eaters that filter diatoms from the water, mold their outer skeleton as they grow. About the size of grain of rice, migrate and vertically seasonally. Foraminifera, single-celled microscopic organism, calcium carbonate shells. Carbonate benthic forms outnumber the pelagic. Their shells are porous and protoplasm streams from inside the shell that engulf and digest food. Nekton community. They are actively swimming animals in marine ecosystems. They are comprised at a stage of such familiar forms as crabs, squid, fish, and whales. Reptiles are air-breathing animals that live both on land and the sea. Some of the earth snakes, turtles, crocodiles, and lizards. Benthos organisms. There are relatively few kinds and numbers of animals on the deep sea floor. They are mainly mud dwellers, possessing characteristic structures permitting life in a quite dark, muddy environment where food is scarce. There are snails, mussels, clams, oysters, sea anemones, sea urchins, sea cucumbers, and starfish. Epifauna means live on the bottom, while infauna means live with the bottom sediment. Note, fauna signifies animals, not plants. Coral reefs are the habitats of marine organisms like sea hares and sea fans. Sea anemones and nobroches are important sources of fish of other fishery products. A massive deposit of limestone that have been produced by coral animals belong to phylum Cnidarian order Sclerotinia, with major additions of calcareous algae and other organisms that secrete calcium carbonate. This is the example of coral reef. The coral reef, you can see the coral reef in the deep sea. 13 factors that favor the development of coral reef. First, temperature above 18 degrees Celsius. Second, water depth shallower than 50 meters. 3. Constantly salinity greater than 30 but less than 36 parts per thousand. 4. Low sedimentation rate. 5. Sufficient circulation or population-free water. 6. Pre-existing hard substrate. There are 3 types of coral reefs. First is atoll, second is barrier reef, and third is margin reef. In atolls means article refers including a lagoon, horseshoes, and shaped regions of reefs. Barrier reef is a long continent. Fringing reefs are very common around the tropically high islands and sometimes border the main coastline. Factors that lead to the destruction of coral reefs. First is population from oil, sewage, heavy metals, and terminal discharge have caused the destruction of fringing reefs. Second, destructive fishing activities such as blasting, dragging nets over reefs, and use of kyanite. Third is reef learners break corals by walking over the reef at low tide to gather food, and swimmers damage coral with their fins. Fourth, Tourists sometimes remove live corals and reef animals for souvenir. Indiscriminate and touring tourist boats over coral reefs have caused huge destruction to frequently visited areas. This is an example of mangrove swamps. Mangrove swamp is a healthy for islands extended shore. Land builder are among the few merchant plants that tolerate salinities of the open sea. The two types of mangrove are reed mangrove and black mangrove. In reed mangrove, the herb from the outermost zone has extensive disposition mode and cells, provide surface for attachment of marine organisms. If they approach while still on the tree, the seedlings drop off and float in the water where well-developed roots make they called, perhaps start a new island. Black mangrove forms so near shore, its roots stick up the mud like branch of asparagus. Mangroves are not only important extending coasts and building islands, but also in protecting coasts from excessive erosion which might otherwise be produced by fierce tropical storms. Problem of marine ecosystem classified as nature-induced stresses and man-induced stresses. Nature-induced stresses by water movement and geological and biological factors. Water movement due to typhoid or cyclonic phenomenon. Biological factors such as competition and predation are known to cause reef and deterioration. Man-induced stresses are salinization, overfishing in shallow coast waters, destructive fishing, logging, and conversion of mangroves into fish ponds, pollution, and expansion of tourism activities. Siltation, excessive siltation due to deforestation, and many activities have been observed to cause the death of coral reefs. Overfishing means the continuous exploitation of particular fishing ground over some time period. Destructive fishing. Practices which block the marine ecosystem include blast fishing means the use of dynamite or any other explosive in fishing. Cyanide is a common poison caused by illegal fishermen caused several of kinesis. Electrofishing is fishing with the use of electric generators. Troll fishing is done with a net in the shape of a conical by tapering from the wide open mouth to a narrow bag at the end. Pollution, industrial waste may cause the instability and death of organisms associated with coral, which could ultimately lead the extinction of species. Decreased productivity followed by the decrease of fish production, which results to the loss of source of livelihood of fishermen and other people involved in the fishing industry. An increase in coastal erosion, the degrowth of the tourism industry, and loss in part of the natural heritage. Tourism industry lack guidelines on marine preservation. Red tide is a natural phenomenon brought about the bloom or the remains of floating microscopic organisms known as deflagellates. It's a called dry tide because of the reddish color of their flagellates gives to the sail when present in a high sail density. Its organism that cause death in the country has been identified and Prodigium for compressa. This organism is attracts sunlight during daytime since at the bottom in the dark earth. The poison in the organism is known as toxitoxin. It is water-soluble salt that affects the nervous system. Three conditions that trigger red tide. First, stirring up the sediments in the nearshore waters by wind action. Second is the high temperature of water due to summer sun which makes the sea more salty. Third, nutrient enrichment of the sea occurs during May and June. Protection of marine ecosystem. Rules and regulations implemented by DNR. Prohibit various forms of illegal fishing, the exploitation and bangus fry, the operation of commercial trawls and pursuit in certain areas, establish fish refuge and sanctuaries, establish closed season, explore, utilize, conserve, and coral reef, ensure continuously supply for fish, communal water areas. Marine biota. Introduction. Marine ecology is divided and different from other ecology. Marine environment can be divided into some distinct zones, and these are called zonation of marine environment. These zones are determined by number of factors such as tidal range, individual species range, or combination of the two. The tides are very important, which affect turbidity. The number of the abundance of various organisms vary from zone to zone, such in the continental shelf area, the biodiversity of aquatic organisms is most comparing to other zones. Zonation of sea. The marine environment can be divided into two zones. First is pelagic zone and second is benthic zone. Pelagic zone is the word pelagic is derived from the ancient Greek pelagos, which means open sea. The pelagic zone occupies 1,330 million cubic miles, while the benthic zone is the ecological region at the lowest level of the body of water, such as an ocean or lake, including the sediment surface and some subsurface layers. Organisms living in this zone are called benthos. Pelagic zone is the part of the ocean extending from the low tide mark with a relatively shallow dip extending to about 200 meters. The nitric zone has generally well oxygenated water, low water pressure, and stable water temperature. Zooplankton, free-floating creatures ranging from microscopic foraminifera area to small fish and shrimp live in the zone. Pelagic zone is subdivided into based on the range and depth. Epipelagic, sunlet, mesopelagic, twilight, bathypelagic, midnight, abyssopelagic, lower midnight, and hadopelagic. Based upon the depth of light penetration, potting zone, dispotting zone, and apotting zone. Based on the range and the depth, a pelagic sunlet, this zone starts from the surface down to around 200 meters. This is the illuminated zone at the surface of the sea, where there is enough light for photosynthesis. Nearly all primary production in the ocean occurs here. Mesopelagic. This zone starts from 200 meters down to 1,000 meters. This mesopelagic zone is sometimes referred to as mid-water zone. Although some light penetrates her, it is insufficient from photosynthesis. Bathypelagic. From 1,000 meters down to 4,000 meters, this deep the ocean is pitch black. Apart from occasional bioluminescent organisms such as lanternfish, there is no living plant life. Abyssopelagic. From 4,000 meters down to 6,000 meters, the water temperature is near freezing and there is no light at all. This zone is mostly unknown. A very few species are known to live here. Hadopelagic. This zone extends from 6,000 meters to the ocean bottom. These areas are mostly found water, trenches, and canyons. Based on the light penetrage. Potting zone. The potting zone is the depth of the water of ocean that exposed to sufficient sunlight. Photosynthesis to occur. Typical epeutic depths vary from only centimeter in highly turbid tropic lakes to around 2,000 meters in open sea. It is also varies with the seasonal change of turbidity. The number of the various kinds of photoplankton is very higher in this zone. This potting zone, this is the zone start from 200 meters to 700 meters. In the despotic zone, small amount of sunlight penetrates. The rate of photosynthesis is very low in this layer. Turbidity is an important factor which determines that turbidity. Apoptic zone. This is the zone of ocean where there is no sunlight. Consequently, bioluminescence is essentially the only life found in this zone. Most food comes from dead organisms sink to the bottom of the ocean from overlying water. The temperature Benthic zone. The benthic region of the ocean begins at the shoreline and extends downward along the surface of the continental shelf out to sea. The continental shelf is a gently sloping benthic region that extends away from the land mass. At the continental shelf edge, usually about 200 meters deep in the gradient greatly increase as known as the continental slope. The continental slope drops down to the deep sea floor. The deep sea floor is called the abyssal plain and is usually about 4,000 meters deep. The ocean floor is not all flat, but has submarine ridge and deep ocean trenches known as the hadal zone. Depending on the water's body, the benthic zone may include areas that only a few inches below water, such as a stream or shallow pond, or maybe at the bottom of an ocean below a 4,000 meters to 13,000 foot column of water. Benthic habitats are very diverse depending upon their depth and location and have distinct biological, physical, and geochemical characteristics. The superficial layer of the soil lining the given body of water is an integral part of benthic zone, as it influences greatly the biological activity that takes place there. Examples of the contact soil layer include sand bottoms, rock outcrops, and coral and bay mud. Classification of marine biota. Marine biota can be classified broadly into those organisms living either at pelagic environment, plankton and nekton, other benthic environment called benthos. Some organisms, however, are benthic is one stage of life and pelagic is another. Producers that synthesize organic molecules exist in both environments. Single-celled or multi-celled plankton with photosynthetic pigments are the producer of the benthic zone in the pelagic environment. Typical benthic producers are macroalgae. Example is diatoms. Macroalgae. Example the Cape macrocytic prefera or seagrass. Example Zostera. Plankton are the numerous primary microscopic inhabitants of the pelagic environment. They are critically components of the food chains in the all marine environment because they provide nutrients for the nekton. Example, crustaceans, fish, and squid. The benthos example is sea squirts and sponge. They also exert a global effect on the biosphere because the balance of components of the Earth's atmosphere depends a great extent on the photosynthetic activities of some plankton. Plankton range in size from the microbes, a micrometer of 0.000039 inches or less, to jellyfish whose gelatinous bell can reach up to 2 meters in width and whose tentacles can extend over 50 meters. The plankton include a wide variety of organisms such as algae, bacteria, protozoans, the larvae at some animals, the crustaceans. Phytoplankton carry out photosynthesis and are the producer of the marine community. Zooplankton are the heterotrophic consumers. Zooplanktons are greater than 0.05 millimeter in size. Nekton are the active swimmers of the ocean, are often the best known organism of marine waters. Nekton are the top predators in the most marine food chains. The vast majority of nekton are vertebrates. Example fishes, reptiles, and mammals. Mollusks and crustaceans, the most numerous group of nekton are the fishes, which approximately 16,000 species. Nekton diversity is greatest in tropical waters, where in the particular there are a large number of fish species. The larger animals on the earth, the blue whale, or Blainoptera musculus, which grow to 25 to 30 meters long, are members of the Neptune. Benthos organisms are abundant in surface sediments of the continental shelf and deeper waters with the great diversity found in our sediments. On many sediments in the Baltic zone, however, the only photosynthetic organisms are microscopic benthic diatoms. Benthic organisms can be classified according to size. The macrobenthos are those organisms larger than 1 millimeter. Organisms between 0.0 and 1 millimeter constitute an meiobenthos. The microbenthos are those organisms smaller than 1 millimeter. They include diatoms, bacteria, and ciliates. Thank you for listening.